Do you find floor plans confusing? Well, stay tuned. We'll make them more relatable and easier to understand. Hi. Let's make floor plans a little more relatable and a little easier to understand. Today, I'm going to use a real life model from college because I just don't get the opportunity to make those for my projects in modern day, and some floor plans for it to show you how to read a floor plan. I know it's a very funny subject for me. Some clients understand floor plans immediately, and other ones have no idea what those lines mean, and they really don't help them imagine their space, their new space. Either way, I always educate my clients as I go along. So whatever your knowledge level and understanding level is of interior design, we're always very passionate about making sure you're comfortable and you understand what's going on fully. So let's dive into how to read a floor plan and how it's created, and some basic principles to maybe help you look at floor plans and blueprints in the future. Hi, welcome to the floor plan from my thesis, not my thesis project, from the what was famously known as the Mansion Project. In one of the fun things about becoming an interior designer is in the beginning you think it's pillows and fabric and paint colors and picking out furniture like everyone else does, unless you've known interior designers. And then you quickly find out through our education that it's a lot more technical than that. And our Mansion Project was a big shebang, very detailed, very technical project from one of our professors or teachers in school, and who is still a friend of mine to this day. And I kind of love him for how hard he pushed us through this project. So this is the Mansion Project. And so you see, this is a typical floor plan you would see for a very big 6,000 square foot mansion. So maybe not incredibly relatable, but this will give you an idea because my model is exactly this in 3 dimensions. So it will make it a little bit easier for you to understand. So you can see a few things here. So you see these kind of lines here where things look a little more open. Those are windows. You see these little curves with straight lines. Normally those are doors. So wherever you see those are doors, either going into a room or not. And then you see other ones where there's these are pocket doors in these areas. You can see more swing doors here, windows, lots and lots of windows. So this project was in a ravine area in Toronto on the Bridle Path. We actually chose the site for our project in school. So all of these windows in the front are big, beautiful, gorgeous windows to highlight the fact that you're looking out on the ravine in the back and you want to enjoy the beautiful views. These ones in the front are mostly what's called clerestory windows, which are higher to the ceiling and let and light without having to worry about the view of maybe the road or your cars out front or anything like that. So this, I'm going to show you in a second the model, and this floor plan is that model cut at 4 feet looking down. So let's go look at the model so I can show you a little bit of that. Hello everybody, this is a scale model of my mansion project. So you might recognize the basic shape here. This is the ground floor just as it was on the floor plan, and I'll bring it over here to show you some things. So you can see a few things. So this looks pretty tall because this is actually a 2-story window that goes all the way up to the second story with these beautiful open stairs here in the model. You can see those. So that's this window here that goes up to the second story. But the rest of this, you can see the basic outline, which follows this basic outline. And so you can see here the windows. So as we're talking about those clerestory windows, you can see it in the actual model here. There's little openings here, which are the windows at the top, versus these guys, which are the full height windows, or like this is the dining room, and that's the mother-in-law, father-in-law suite over here. So what is a floor plan? As I mentioned in the other part, it is literally your house cut sort of like this, but a little bit shorter at 4 feet, as if you were looking straight down. So that is how it makes it a little more easy to understand this. So if you see, you can see a few things here. So, oh, it's taken a little beating, guys. It's been around for a little while. You can see there's the volume of the kitchen cabinets here. There's some lower ones underneath the window here. You can see where curved walls are. So models like this are really great for big complex projects where the volume of space and how it's understood is really complex. And basically it's hard to get the grand scale of your project. In modern day, most of these are translated into three-dimensional models, but I thought this was a great way for it to be very visual as to what you're looking at. So when you see things like, you can see down here at the bottom of the video, you have the closet here. I'll move it up a little bit. Let's see, for example, you have the entryway. That's this entryway here. And you can see these straight lines are exactly these walls we're looking at. So anything that's solid here is a solid wall that you see in this model here. So if you were standing inside of this room, you'd be looking at these solid walls, which would be these solid walls. So it's actually pretty simple. And there's different ways we denote different things. You can see in my model, I don't have furniture because it was a crazy enough term with my teacher without adding furniture to this. But you can see different things, like we added a little bit of fluff for foliage here. And you can see the big volume of space. So one of your next questions might be, as I bring the floor plan back over, well, I guess I get that's a chair. That definitely looks like a piano. That, I guess, looks like a bench or something, and that looks kind of like a modern sofa. But what's all of these straight lines here? What do those mean? What do these little dashed lines in here mean? Well, this is how we note stuff that's built in, but not walls. So these are all built-in, what we call built-in millwork, or you might call built-in cabinetry. So this is the kitchen here. You can see these lines here are an island. This is some wall cabinets, and these are some lower cabinets in front of, you can see all these windows. Over here, this is kind of an office closet, you know, a dressing and closet area. So this is showing us something, the dashed line shows something that's higher than 5 feet. So we might have a bar for clothes here that's higher up that we're showing in here. We might have, as you do in here, a bit of cabinetry that's above this, that's a little higher. And that's what dashed lines mean. Dashed lines usually mean something that's higher than and closer to the ceiling than 4 feet on your floor plan. And you can see things like, we show you how big the car is in the space, dining table, bed. And then these here are funny things. You said, why are there circles on the floor plan, Melissa? Well, that's because this is a handicap accessible suite, a mother-in-law suite. The father of the couple who owns the house has MS. So we had to make this entire suite handicap accessible. And you may notice there are no stairs here. This is actually what we called an on-grade entry. So there's no threshold and no steps to go down. So you can go straight out, and you don't have any steps down into the garage either. You go straight out into the garage and you come in. So these circles are what's called turning circles. So normally you don't see that in your house floor plan when somebody shows you one, but in this case, and the specialty that I do is accessibility in the home. So in some cases we need to show that someone needs to turn around, and you see it's usually in corners. So it's usually in a space where someone has to turn around or change directions. So you see there's these dashed circles here. And that's about it for floor plans. They're actually pretty simple. Thank you for joining me for this little tutorial, and let's wrap things up. Well, that was a lot of fun, at least for me. I hope this was incredibly helpful for you. I hope you get to share this with friends and family so that they get a better understanding of their floor plans, or maybe you link somebody to it. You're just like, I'm working with an interior designer and I saw this video and this is how my floor plans work. If you're interested in us treating your projects with the same care and attention to detail and the caring to educate you as you go, please follow the link below. You can check out my website for my company, Sanura Design. Alternatively, if you're not in my area or you want to look at several interior designers, you can go to arido.ca, arido.ca, and that will give you a listing of qualified interior designers in your area who know the same things I do. So if you guys have any suggestions for other things that I can make more relatable or break down and explain a little bit better, as usual, put it in the comments below. I love to hear from you, and don't be shy about giving me your feedback. Have a great day, everybody. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. One really fun thing about models like this is this right here. Us interior designers love real models because you can do this. You can look through the windows. Hey, look over here. You can actually see in this window to see what you see if you look through those tall windows. Or down here, you get a shot straight through the house into some of the entryway. So just a little bonus content for people who stayed tuned.